Hey guys, Bill here from Chords of Orion. I'm actually in the Chords of Orion living room today for two reasons. One is the Chords of Orion studio, the dungeon, is just a little bit wet. We've had torrential rains here in Virginia. My studio's in the basement and we got a little water around the edges. All the equipment's good to go, nothing harmed, so no worries there. Reason number two, I've got a big box here. This is a Pedal Train Classic Pro pedal board, and I'm going to be putting this together. This is the first pedal board that I have owned for many years, and it's because I largely play in my studio. I record, put things out on YouTube, get it out on Spotify, etc. I don't really need a pedal board, but I've got a probable Chords of Orion gig coming up soon, and I will talk about that on a later video. If it happens, I'm going to need to travel a little bit, about 120 miles away from my house, and I feel like I need a pedal board. So went ahead and bought this, and it's a little bit of, this video will be a little bit of an unboxing, but also I'm interested in your thoughts, so let's get to work. All right, guys, I'm back. Yeah, this thing is everything, I think, everything I hoped it would be and more. It's a good size for me, I think. And it's got this cool Velcro, or whatever they call it, for sticking all the pedals on the board. It's got, I don't know. It's got, it looks like it has a strap, and it's got a case, so I'm good to go there. I'm not going to bore you all with the Velcro thing. There are many videos here on YouTube for how to install Velcro on a pedal train pedal board. But my main issue, though, is what pedals do I put on this board? I think I know what I want to play at this presumptive gig, so that's going to drive my decision somewhat. But if you've been following the channel, you've seen lots of pedals being demoed over the last 4.5 years. I've really kept just about all of the pedals that I've demoed here, so there's a huge pile down in the dungeon. And which ones do I use? There's some that I know that I'm going to use, and let me pull these out here for you. So I'm definitely going to be using the Fender The Benz compressor. I still really like my Wampler Ego, but this thing has been working really well for me in the last several months. And so I think that's where I'm going to start with my signal chain, and maybe I'll put it there, right, on the end of the pedal board. The next pedal up is going to be an overdrive, and that's definitely going to be the Strymon Riverside, no doubt. The Riverside is probably the overdrive distortion I've used more than anything else. I love the Sunset, the Strymon Sunset. I love some of the other distortion pedals I have, but this thing is so versatile and just sounds so good. So pretty sure I'm going to put it somewhere in that kind of vicinity. All right. Next up is a question for me, and I'm trying to decide if I need a pitch shifter for this gig. And I think I do, and I think I'm going to go with the Electro Harmonics Pitchfork. I love the sub and up, both flavors, the mini and the bigger one. But I think the Pitchfork is going to make it because it can do other intervals besides an octave. This part of the pedal chain is going to go in front of my Avid 11-rack amp modeler. So for those of you who use a standard amp, you can think of these three pedals as in terms of fronting your guitar amp. So this is going to front my amp modeler. Everything else that I put on this board is going to go into the stereo effects loop of my Avid 11-rack. Next up for sure is one of my favorites, my Morley Alligator volume pedal. And yeah, I've got to figure out this configuration. That's not going to work. So I'll have to figure it out, but they'll be set up somehow or the other. And then the choices are going to get a little bit harder for this gig. And this is where, you know, if you've got any thoughts for me, comment below in the video description. I would love to hear any feedback. And in particular, if you've hung around the channel for a while, you've seen some of the pedals that I've used. So I feel like for this gig, I'm going to need my Ditto X4 looper. And I'll tell you why. I'm pretty sure I'm going to do some, quote, Frippertronic style looping. And even though it's not a tape type delay, this Ditto X4 is just, it's an awesome pedal for creating two different kinds of Frippertronic style loops. So I feel like that is probably gonna make it on the board. I'm gonna need to have it down low on the pedal so I can be tapping on the switches to turn the loops on and off. Now, yeah, things get really dicey now because I've got 4 candidates for delays. So what I've got here is the Strymon El Capistan, and I've got the Strymon Dig, I've got the Strymon Timeline, and I've got the TC Electronic Flashback Triple Delay. And I think these are my candidates for delays, and I think I want 2 of them. That's what I think, 2 of them. That's going to give me a lot of flexibility. So as I am looking at these, I'm feeling like, and let me know what you think, I'm feeling like what I should probably go with is the Flashback Triple Delay, partially because it fits really nice. No, that's not why, but it does. It fits really nicely right here. Flashback Triple Delay because it's got 3 delay lines. That's going to give me a lot of flexibility. This is a likely candidate, and then it comes down to the Strymon delays. It's rough, but I feel like I'm going to have to go with a timeline. But I feel like the combination of the Flashback Triple Delay and the timeline are going to give me the greatest amount of flexibility. I come down to reverbs, and I've got 2 candidates for this gig. One is the ever popular Strymon BigSky, which you guys have seen me use quite a bit, and the New Neighbor Immerse, which you guys have seen me use quite a bit. So, what do I use? I've got enough room for both of them on the board, but I feel like for this gig, I don't want to confuse myself with too many choices. So I feel like maybe the Strymon BigSky might be my best bet. It doesn't have that amazingly pristine, angelic, heavenly, eternal, put your word in there, hall reverb. But I can get probably 80% of the way there with the Strymon BigSky. Plus I get a lot of other reverb types that are pretty amazing on the BigSky itself. So there you have it. This is my first pedal board attempt since I was in my really long ago. And I gotta tell you, the pedal board I had before this was a piece of plywood. Serious, it was a piece of plywood. Now, the pedals on it sounded great, but it was a piece of plywood. So I'm really excited to get this together. Again, for those of you who are experts on pedal boards, and I know there are some of you out there, I would love it if you would give me some advice. If you think I'm like totally messed up on my pedal choices, let me know too and provide some suggestions. I want to get this right. Again, I'll tell you about the gig, but if it comes off, it's a gig that I'm really kind of invested in, I'm excited to do, and excited to tell you about. And as always, I will see all of you on the next video.